Hello, my name's Ashley Winchester, and today I'm going to be doing a simple dead reckoning flight from Manassas, which is located in northern Virginia, across to Winchester, which is also located in northern Virginia. It's a flight that's only 39 nautical miles, and it's tracking 321 degrees magnetic. So what I've done is I've got that set up already. Not quite. There we go, 321 on my compass with the heading bug there. And that's the direction we're going to be heading. Now, the weather conditions are set as nil wind and unlimited visibility. So just to keep it simple. Now, obviously, Manassas is, as you can see over there, it is a towered airport, and it is within the Washington, D.C. ADIZ zone, Aircraft Defense Identification Zone. However, I will not be following those procedures today. So this, if you're looking for that sort of information, you need to speak with your flight instructor to find out the latest information, because the information does change over time, and I don't want to make a video about that. Anyway, I'm just keeping it simple. I'm treating it like I'm flying from one CTAF field to another, and it's going to be a very simple dead reckoning exercise. As you can see on the GPS here, the information I have on display does not give away any information regarding ground speed, heading, tracking, any maps, moving maps, or anything like that. It's just information for here at Manassas only. I've purposely put that on there so that you're restricted to the time, the watch, the map, which you should have a map if you can find one. You can find one on airnav.com. Oh, sorry, it's skyvector.com. And also the DG, which is aligned with the compass. So just using a watch, map, and a compass, we're going to be flying to Winchester. So let's get started. So what I'll do is just pop the brake off and start applying power. Now, I tend to believe that the turning to the left is slightly, well, actually quite a lot over exaggerated in the flight sim. Alright, obviously the RPM is alive. Airspeed's alive, and let's get airborne. Sorry, a bit behind the 8 ball there. And that's about the attitude you want there, with reference to the horizon. Oops, I need to see this so I can turn the autopilot on. I find it easier in real life to fly aircraft rather than in the flight sim. So what I'll be doing is using the autopilot to fly this thing. I do fly better by hand in real life though, because I'm using a keyboard and a mouse as well. I do have a flight control column, but I'm using the keyboard for throttles, so it's not the most realistic. But anyway, let's have a look at the time. It's 3:07, so let's just say we've got airborne about 3:06. It's pretty vague, I realise. Okay, so I'm estimated to climb for about 4 minutes, and so that would be about 40 by the time we get up to 2,500 feet. So we're going to climb up to 2,500 feet. So we're obviously already passing 1,300, as you can see on the altimeter there. And let's have a look here. We're obviously clearly airborne, so the fuel pump can come off. That's the electric fuel pump. And the landing light can come off, and taxi light, we don't need those. Navs, strobes, pitot heat, beacon, they can stay on. The engine-driven fuel pump is actually still operating, so that's why the electric fuel pump is not required. It's just used when you take off and landing, or any time you're close to the ground, really. Just in case the engine fuel pump fails, the electric pump works. Okay, 1,900 feet, so we have a little way to go, not too much longer. Once we reach 2,500 feet, I'll level out. Yeah, we're a bit slow. I should be going faster than that. A bit steep. Last time I flew it, I had a better performance. But, hey, turn that off. Okay, 2,300 feet, a couple hundred feet to go. So 3.6 was the estimate. Okay, obviously we're levelling off. Speed is increasing, as you'd expect. You don't want to keep your head in the cockpit, you've got to keep a lookout. As always, it's VFR. Still accelerating. You can see it should get up to about 120 knots indicated based on the pitch or the attitude and the engine settings. Now it is getting close to red line, so we'll be pulling the power back just a little bit, but not until it's about now. 25.5 is the recommended RPM for, I think it's about 78% brake horsepower. Anyway, we have leveled off. Sorry, it was 40 that was the estimate. For 17 minutes to get there, so from 40, let's just say 57 would be the estimate. Alright, so we've leveled off. We're going just under 120 knots, about 25.5, 2600 RPM. And pretty close to 2,500 feet. Surely I could go down just a little bit, but that's okay. I'm not too worried about that right now. So, let's just start with the en route checklist. Now, the checklist I was taught for en route navigation is clear off. So, that is the acronym of clear off, CLEAROF. Now, C stands for compass. Now, what that means is you got to check, pardon me, check to make sure your DG is aligned with the compass. And it appears to be, yep, it's about 3.2 there, and it's showing about 3.2 there. Yep, that's pretty good. Now, log, that's going to be the actual time of departures and estimate time of departures. We got to the top of climb at 40. And we estimated once we're at top of climb, it's about 17 minutes to Winchester, which will bring us to a time 5.7. So at 5.7 on this clock, we should be at Winchester. Engine. Okay, we've got it set at about 2600. Just take it back just a fraction. That's okay. Anyway, also we want to look at the engine instruments. Oil pressure, it's in the green arc. That's very good. That's what we want. Temperature, for oil temperature, also in the green arc. And since we're here, the vacuum, it's in the green as well. That obviously is to power gyroscopic instruments such as the artificial horizon. Ampere is 0, so it's not charging, but it's not discharging either, which is very good. Fuel flow is obviously in the green arc. We're about 10 gallons per hour of a fuel flow rate, and we have plenty of fuel as well. Altimeter currently set at 292, so we're at standard pressure today. 1013 for those outside of the United States, usually in British colonies, which is the same, just in hectopascals instead of inches of mercury. So we're on 292, so we're on standard pressure today. So that won't be changing because the flight's only a total distance of 39 miles. So we're going to stick to the same pressure. Radio. Currently I'm on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 because I didn't want to have any unnecessary radio traffic. 24.85 is the AWOS for Winchester, so I'll just flick that on.
Winchester RGNL weather. Wind calm. Visibility 10. Sky clear. Temperature 23. Dew point 3. Altimeter 2992.
There we go. So like I said, we've got 2992 already set. Calm. We'll do a straight in because the runway is virtually the direction we're facing right now. So we'll take a look at that later. So the radio, and also normally you have your CTAF plugged in there. You'd be monitoring your CTAF and your en route frequency on the column 2 as well. However, I'm not doing that. I'm keeping this simple today. Orientation. All right, we're supposed to be going direction 321 magnetic, and that is the direction going by compass and the DG. Looking at the chart, we're also supposed to cross over a mountain range. How about that? Did I some mountains. We've crossed over them. That is good. I think this is looking promising. Orientation is looking good so far, and obviously, you know, if you're elsewhere near a coast, you want to make sure the coast is on the correct side of the aircraft, things like that. And that's pretty much what orientation is. And fuel. Okay, you make sure fuel pump is currently off. That's the electric fuel pump. The engine-driven fuel pump's operating at the moment. We've got the fuel selector on both. Always use both in flight. If you use left or right, you can only use it in straight and level flight, but it's just easier to keep it on both. And it keeps the fuel level between the left and the right-hand tanks relatively even, which makes it a lot easier. The fuel log, well, we saw we have plenty of fuel left, and we expect to get there at time 5:07, which is about 12 minutes away, and burning fuel at 10.1 or a little over 10 gallons per hour. We have plenty of fuel left, so that's not a problem, and that's pretty much the checklist for en route. Okay, quick brief for Winchester Airport. It's runway 1432, it's the only runway, so 32 is pretty much the heading we're on. So the runway, if you picture it on top of the DG here, is pretty much going to be, that's how it's going to be orientated when we see it in the distance. Now, it's too early to see it yet. However, after crossing the first mountain range, this is going by the visual map here now, and before the second range, we should be passing over an airport, which is a runway in a similar direction, not quite the same, but very similar, and it's Upperville. It's a privately owned airstrip, and trust me, it is suitable for corporate jets to fly in there, and they do. However, we cannot land there. We're not planning on landing there, but it should be somewhere coming up, and I don't see it yet. But it should stand out. That's not it there, is it? No. We should be just to the left of that runway when we see it. Now, just having a quick look at the chart. Upperville from Manassas this is approximate measurement. About 23 miles at this speed. Say 10 minutes. 10, 11 minutes into it, so that's what we leave. 4.6, we should be getting over it quite soon if we haven't already. It's before the base of the mountains, so there's some mountains coming up. Oh, look at that. There it is right there. Now, the chart that I've got shows that I should be just to the left of it. Obviously, we're going to be just to the right of it. Not by much, but probably about half a mile. So, well, I'll say 1 mile. And it was about 23 miles too. So the 1 in 60 rule, 20 goes into 63 times. So if I do 30 degrees to the left at the airport, that'll parallel the track. And it is 15, let's just say 20 as well. So it's about 6 degrees. I need to go about 6 degrees to the left once we get to the airport here. And I will do that. And that should hopefully bring us over the top of Winchester when we get there. I'm probably slightly off track because I was holding the incorrect heading once. I didn't take the correct heading once we were immediately airborne. That's probably why I'm slightly off track, but really, seriously, it's not by much. It's fine. And obviously today we have nil wind. The weather is fantastic. There's no clouds, so it's very simple. It's dead reckoning exercise. All right. So I'll turn left 6 degrees at the airport. There. Alright, I'll do it about now. That's it. That'll do. Alright, and we're overhead at 4.8. And that is Upperville. It was approximately 23 nautical miles to Upperville from Manassas, going by the chart and my estimates. And it's 36. So in 12 minutes, we went about 23 miles. Which would give us a ground speed of approximately 115 knots. Which is about what's indicated at the moment on the airspeed. That's about 110, almost 115. Alright, so, and we have about, how far have we got to go? About 17 miles to go or so. So my estimate still remains at 5.7. Yep, so that doesn't change. Awesome, easy. But I did have to change the heading. But the ground speed is a rough estimate, but it's pretty good, I believe. Actually, I'll flick it on the GPS once we get overhead Winchester. So at 5.7, we should be approaching Winchester. So what that means is at about 10 miles out, sorry, when we're about 10 miles out from Winchester, should be about 5 minutes before ETA. So I would make a CTAF call at about 5.2. Which is also about the time you cross over this river, which is at the base of these mountains, the Shenandoah. Yeah, that's it there, I think. The Shenandoah River. Oh no, that's it here. That's it here, at the base of the mountains here. That's about 10 miles to Winchester. So, not that I've plugged their CTAF in. I'm expecting a straight in because I'm pretending there's going to be no other traffic there. But normally you'd be monitoring the CTAF frequency, seeing if there is any traffic there, and if there is any traffic, you'd find out which runway they're using, and you would plan to join the pattern or the circuit for that particular runway as well that they are currently using. But we're trying keeping it as simple as possible. And once we cross this river, I'd make the CTAF call. So I'd call up Winchester traffic, Cessna 172, 172 Sierra Papa, 10 miles to the southeast, inbound, full stop landing, Winchester traffic. Well, estimate arrival 5.7. Oof, that was pretty rough, but lucky it's not real life. I am a bit rusty. It's been quite a few years since I last flew. And there's the interstate freeway, which does peel off to the left a bit. It does remain in sight. And where it crosses over the river, just there, we should actually be only just to the right of it. And I reckon we're pretty much right on track because of that heading correction. So I'm happy with that. It's looking good. So at 5.7 is still the same estimate. 4 minutes away, and it is just on this side of town. Now I can tell you now that's not Winchester because it's too small. Winchester is a large town. That's probably it over there, the town. Hard to tell at this stage. There is a railway line that crosses over the interstate, and the railway line is left to right in front of us. And it's near the town of White Post. So the interstate should be over here somewhere. Oh, there's some big power lines as well. We're definitely in the right spot. Yes. 254, 57. I'm not going to descend or anything like that. Not in this particular flight. I'll just see if I can basically find Winchester through basic dead reckoning skills. And believe me, it's not hard. And look at that. That looks like an airport. Yeah, and there's Winchester behind it. Okay, so it should have been runway 1432. 1432. Looks a little bit off. Pretty close. Pretty close. Now let's see what time we get there. So estimate 57. I'm not planning on descending. I'm not going to do any pre-landing checks or anything like that. But, very cool. So far I'm happy with this flight as far as finding it. I think you'll find I-Fi navigation using whether it be VORs, ILS, GPS or anything like that, it's actually a lot easier, I believe, and obviously a lot more precise than dead reckoning. But I actually prefer visual navigations because I believe it's actually at times more challenging. It takes, I think, more skill, because when it comes to IFR, you just configure the instruments in the direction that you want to travel, and then you maintain whatever heading it takes to track where you want to go IFR. And yeah, I think it's easier, but obviously more precise. And you know, getting your instrument rating obviously makes you a much better pilot. But and I do recommend people get that, and it makes you a safer pilot too, in case you're flying VFR and you get yourself into instrument conditions unintentionally. With an IFR rating, you can at least better yourself in that situation. All right, at 5.7, I'll switch over. Actually, I'll switch this over to, look at that, ground speed 120, I estimated 115. Not bad. Not a bad estimate. Oops, so what was the time again? 5.6. Let's wait till 5.7. 5.7. Look at that. We're at the top of the field. I know it's nil wind, but we made it. We found it without using any reference to any GPS, Navaids, whether it be NDBs, VORs, ILS, anything. We found it with a watch, a map, and a compass. Now that's Winchester Airport in Northern Virginia. Awesome. I've always enjoyed visual navigations. Always found it a bit more challenging than IFR, but at the same time, I enjoy it a lot more because you get to look outside and enjoy the view. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. I know it was a really simple one, very simplified version of Dead Reckoning. And there's the town of Winchester, which is in the very corner of Northern Virginia. And I'd say West Virginia probably starts right about those mountains there. And you got Pennsylvania and Maryland not far away as well. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed that video. Thank you for watching, and hopefully you'll watch more of them. If you've liked what you've seen so far, please let me know. Please feel free to make a comment below. I appreciate any feedback we get whatsoever. So anyway, have a good day. See ya.